From KRDO TV, this is News Channel 13, where the news comes first.
Well, right now, for the first time in more than 30 years, the U.S. Supreme Court is ruling on a case that questions eyewitness testimony. It's shining a light on eyewitness reliability, and one of the top experts in our country works right here in southern Colorado. She says DNA evidence is proving eyewitnesses get it wrong more often than many of us want to admit.
All these names, nearly 300 men and women wrongfully convicted, 75% of them found guilty based on what turned out to be faulty eyewitness testimony.
You can scream at the top of your lungs, I didn't do it, and yet you're not believed. It must be one of the worst things.
UCCS Professor Dr. Ede Greene is a top expert in the field of eyewitness reliability.
Our memories don't work like videotape, so we definitely do fill in the blanks.
What about this? If you saw two women talking, then a man comes up and seems to know him. He chats him up. Then when he leaves, one of the women realizes her wallet's been stolen.
So what if police brought you down, showed you these suspect photos, lined them all up side by side so you could compare them? Photo lineups like this have been standard practice for years in law enforcement.
That's not the best procedure.
Dr. Greene says research shows when you're looking at all the photos at once, you ask yourself, which person looks most like the criminal I saw?
And when you ask yourself that question, always there will be one person that looks more like the perpetrator than anybody else, and that's the person that gets chosen.
So what if they did it this way, putting one picture in front of you, one at a time? Well, research shows that when they're laid out sequentially like this, the eyewitness accuracy rate skyrockets. And because of that, many states have changed their laws. They now require it that way, but Colorado isn't one of them. Now look at this guy. What if you saw him talking to police shortly after the crime, being questioned, possibly handcuffed? Well, that kind of thing happens frequently.
The idea that you're handcuffed in a police car or standing outside the police car with bright lights shining on you, there's a lot of suggestiveness in that situation, a lot that says to the eyewitness, the cops think this is the guy.
Yeah, this guy would probably be the wise choice. Everything is pointing to him, especially when you find out the women didn't know him and they thought he was a little creepy. You testify in court, and he's convicted. Now he's behind bars, and the real criminal who saw an opportunity and took it is still free. It happens more often than we'd like to admit.
By the way, the lineup is just one of many factors that can influence a witness. Dr. Greene gives seminars internationally. You can find a lot more information on this over at KRDO.com. And by the way, we need to congratulate Teresa Drews. She watched News Channel 13 earlier, went to KRDO.com, picked the right suspect, was entered to win this $50 gift certificate to Steak Smith. Her name was drawn. Congratulations, Teresa. We'll be in touch with you.
Yeah.
And by the way, there was something in that story. Matt, I don't know if you noticed it either. We're going to post it again up on KRDO.com. When you see me on the screen, they call it a stand-up. We know that. Viewers, that's what it is. I'm there talking. Something happens during the stand-up, during one of those two stand-ups. Something changes. You can go to KRDO.com later and check that out.
Watch that again. Yeah.
Very interesting. All I noticed was the goofy-looking KRDO News Channel 13 photographers.
They're
that were
scary,
all over
let me
that
tell
case.
you.
They can be, that's right. They do some good work, though. Hey.